Hello, everyone. You're welcome to the Australia's Global Initiative Virtual Law Practice Talk series. This is um, this talk series is different from the one that you know very well. This one is uh, different from the Australia's Global Initiative Virtual Law Practice course series. This one is a talk series uh, designed to promote continuous professional development in a sort of interactive way. Um, we will be asking some questions in the course of the program, and we answer the questions as the the program is uh, being broadcast, as the program is going on live. We can get your calls, uh, pick your calls, you can ask questions, we take them down, then we answer them as the case may be. And we have also given you the opportunity to send us some probing questions which you think you expect us to answer in private, not in this particular forum. So is an all-embracing um, approach in terms of learning facilitation. We don't want to make it to look too academic. So today's program is basically on what the the National Industrial Court of Nigeria has actually done to promote virtual law practice in a unique way. In fact, it is how, from what you can see on the screen there, is how Nigerian lawyers can effectively use the National Industrial Court of Nigeria mobile app and the National Industrial Court of Nigeria virtual court to practice as virtual lawyers in Nigeria. And we also urge you to do well to subscribe to this channel for more virtual law practice tips, because what this segment is basically is is to create awareness concerning virtual law practice. Some lawyers still think that these things are not achievable. Some lawyers still think that virtual law practice has not come to stay. And we need to keep creating awareness concerning virtual law practice. And the best way we can do it is through a if a strategy like this. Uh, we do understand the mindset of Nigerians concerning things that are very academic. Um, so we don't want to adopt an approach that will make it to look too serious, because when you make it to look serious, people may some lawyers may run away from it, and even some clients may even be scared about adopting this approach, because to them they may feel that they won't have justice. So, but we are using this particular medium to educate Nigerians, to educate lawyers, to educate clients, to educate judges, to educate all stakeholders in the justice administration system about what the various courts in Nigeria are actually doing, what the various stakeholders who are passionate about virtual law practice in Nigeria are doing to promote virtual law practice. So that is basically what this segment is all about. So our focus today is on what actually has the National Industrial Court of Nigeria done to promote virtual law practice. That is what this program all about today. What steps have they taken to promote virtual law practice? Do they have any practice direction that was crafted or that has been designed to promote virtual law practice? Is there any technology in the courts that they have developed or created to promote virtual law practice? What is the response of lawyers concerning the use of this particular technology? How are they coping? How are they cooperating with the courts? How are they coping with the use of the technologies developed to promote virtual law practice? These and many more related issues are the things we are going to discuss in this segment of the Absolute Global Initiative Virtual Law Practice Talk Series. It's called Talk Series because it's different from the course, as it were. The Absolute Global Initiative Virtual Law Practice course is different from the Absolute Global Initiative Virtual Law Practice Talk Series. So these are two programs entirely under the AGI Virtual Law Practice course program. One is in the form of talk series, while the other one is in the form of a course which you are expected to take, to study. You study it seriously in order for you to have the foundation concerning how to practice as a virtual lawyer in Nigeria. Now, in this particular course, we talk series, we will look at the newly developed mobile app that by the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, designed to promote virtual law practice. That is it. So it is not just putting it in a book. The National Industrial Court has actually gone ahead to come up with an app, not just a website, to come up with an app. Why coming up with an app? They decided to come up with an app because they know very well that not everybody can actually access the website. Such is some people see the website like a rocket science and what have you. Everything about the website is strange to some people, to some lawyers, and to even some stakeholders in the justice administration, some other stakeholders in the justice administration system. They have done something that is so unique, which for us is about the first in Africa. Uh, that is the mobile app, which has a lot of features designed to promote virtual law practice. We are going to do a screen share of the pages that you will find on the mobile app, um, so that you get yourself familiar with them. You may not have heard an idea about it before, but this one will give you a clear understanding about what what the mobile app is really about and how to use it. It's a program designed to educate you on how to use it. It's an easy to use app. There is no big deal about it. So let me go straight to the screen share now so that you can have an idea of what we are talking about. When we finish that screen share, we'll come back for you to see, for us to continue discussing it as the case may be. And we believe that at the end of the day, you will definitely enjoy whatever that you have done, and you think of the need for you to equip yourself further by maybe way of looking for some other strategies, some other means that you can use to equip yourself, as the case may be. So let us go straight away to the screen share. For you to have an idea about how to use the mobile app, as the case may be. Now, what you have here is the first page. Is the first page. What will come is the second page that will come up when you. The first page that will pop out when you make a click or you tap on any of the icons. Now, this is the app. This is the app developed by the NICN to promote virtual law practice. And this is the first page. When having installed the app on your phone, you will see a page like this when you tap it, and the page will come up and to welcome you to the app, as the case may be. Now, this is the second page. The second page has 6 features. There are 6 features as represented here. You have judges. If you want to know more about the judges of the Nigeria, of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, these are the judges in the various divisions across the federation. So you have them. When you tap the judges icon, the list of the judges, a page will pop out for you to have a view of all the judges that we have in various jurisdictions of the court. Then you have the past president of the court. When you tap this link, this icon, a page will pop up showing the past presidents of the National Industrial Court of Nigeria. And this is history. If you want to have an idea about the history, know more about it, you just click this link, or you tap it if you're using a mobile phone, as the case may be. And what do you have? You have a rich history about the National Industrial Court. Then the next one is the division. When you tap this, you see the various divisions. When we go to the next page, you'll see the various divisions we're talking about. Here you have the registry. You have the registry, and you have the tools. So this is one of the pages that you find when you tap the app. Now, there is a page for the registry. We did talk about it when we were introducing the previous page. Now, this is the registry. Now, these are the various registries across the federation where you can do your filing as far as the labor matters are concerned. You can do your filing. These are the registry. You have Aba registry, Abeokuta registry, Dulce registry, Katsina registry, Kwara registry, Taraba registry, Lafia registry, and so on and so forth across the federation. Then we have the National Industrial Court of Nigeria Practice Direction and Guidelines for Court Sittings 2020. This was released in May 2020 in order to guide the court concerning court sittings and filing of court processes, so that the COVID-19 pandemic would not totally crumble activities in the court. So this is the practice direction. Then you have another page which will pop up when you click same and click the app. Is the judgments, the course list. Now look at it. You have this is a course list. When you click the course list, you will know the matters that are actually scheduled for that particular day, and from the comfort of your home, you'll be able to determine whether your matter is part of the matter that has been scheduled for today, and you know what to do. If you don't have this, if you don't need to go to the court and to confirm. All you just need to do, check the course list, and you can also make a call to any of the court officials who will definitely give you an answer. The numbers are there for you to have an idea about your matter of the day. So if your matter is not fixed for that particular day on the course list, there is no need for you to be in the court. Now, the next page is a very good a page that will give you an idea of what I've been talking about. Look at the course list, look at the icon for the judgment, you have the one for the ruling, you have the one for the virtual court proper, then you have the one for the practice direction. You want to have an idea about the practice direction. What does the law say about your filing, about presentation in court, about hearing? The practice direction guides the court concerning the activities of the court, concerning the business of the court. Then there is a very important feature, which is a call feature, on the app. The call feature enables you to give a call to anybody who actually is in the IT department or who is a court official at the National Industrial Court of Nigeria, to ask to answer any question that you may have concerning maybe your process. It could be even a client calling, wanting to make inquiries about how to go about whatever he wants to do as far as his case is concerned, right there in the court. So it's a very important feature. In fact, I did make a call on one of the officers, one of the court officials this morning there, and I got a very good response. I didn't need to bother myself about looking for numbers and what have you. I just placed the call there, and the call went through straight away. Then now you have the divisions. As I did say earlier on, we have various divisions in the courts. These various divisions are spread across the country. You have the Abuja head office, which is the main office of the National Industrial Court. Of course, you know very well that the FCT Abuja is a capital of Nigeria, the federal capital of Nigeria. So everything has got to be there, especially public offices, as the case may be. Then we have the Abakaliki division, although what we have there is such that it's arranged alphabetically. So you start with A, after A, B, after B, C, the end. So you just keep looking for how your states, the division which you are going to file your matter, or the division which you the division which you actually need for the purpose of your of filing your case, as the case may be. The division you need to file your case, because for administrative convenience, the courts have been divided into different divisions across the federation. So if, for instance, if the cause of action arises in Delta State, you cannot go to Akwa Ibom to file, all because you feel it is all is in the National Industrial Court of Nigeria. It's just one. No, you've got to file that particular matter in the division that is close to where the cause of action arises. So it's important you take notes. You have the Abakaliki division, the Akure division, the Asaba division, the Akwa division, which is basically Akwa Ibom State. You have the Bauchi division and the Benin division, and a host of other divisions across the country. So that is it. You have for in fact, almost all the states in Nigeria for now have different divisions, but not all. Almost, I didn't say all, so we have to take note of that. Then let us look at This particular page, this is one of the pages that you also find, you find on the app when you tap. In fact, when you click the image icon on the app, this is what will pop out. You have the judges, the court history, the division, the registry, and about the court as it were, about the National Industrial Court of Nigeria and tools. We have actually taken you to the tools, before. It's important that you know then the tools. You can see what we have when you click the tools. This is what you are going to see. So that is it. So I think we can now look at in in practice what the court has done. The court has gone, the National Industrial Court of Nigeria has gone to the extent of developing an app or introducing or creating an app in order to promote virtual law practice. So if I may ask this question, will it not be tenable for us to say that virtual law practice has not been established in Nigeria? You will understand that it has been established in Nigeria because the laws are there. The practice direction is one of them. The practice direction basically promotes it, and the court has even gone further to develop an app to promote virtual law practice in Nigeria as far as labor matters are concerned. So you can access the rulings of courts, you can access court judgments, you can access the court registry, you can access court officials in the various jurisdictions that you want to file your case, in any of the various jurisdictions that you want to file your matter. But you have to take note that take into account where the cause of action arises from. That determines where your action will be filed. You can't just wake up to go file an action somewhere in Lagos where the cause of action actually, practically, lawfully did arise in Warri. So it's impossible, except some circumstances have actually made it so administratively, which in most cases may be by virtue of the leave of court. The court must grant that application if you do apply for it, and you are able to persuade the court why the matter has got to be heard in a division other than the division in which the cause of action arises from. So and the court will have to take into account the peculiar circumstances that will warrant the granting of such application, and they will do justice to it depending on the discretion of the court. It's not a must, but we need to understand one fact. The fact is that the National Industrial Court of Nigeria is, as a matter of fact, one court. So what it means is that in whichever jurisdictions you find the courts spread across the federation, it is just one court. It's just one court. So it's important for us to take note of it. So you agree with me now that practicing as a virtual lawyer in Nigeria is becoming norm because the laws are there. So as a lawyer, it's expected for you to upskill, for you to equip yourself, for you to know how to use the app. Now, I did a screen share of the various pages that you will find on the app upon clicking the different icons that may give you information or some sort of information concerning what you're expected to do, where you are expected to navigate to, how to navigate from the registry to the virtual courts and what have you. So these things are important. The app provides for a virtual court. So where you have a virtual court, there is no question as to whether or not virtual law practice has not come to stay. There is no question there. The virtual law practice has come to stay because even we have the National Industrial Court of Nigeria mobile app, which has provided for a virtual court. Your cases will be heard virtually. You adopt your processes. You lead evidence. You can lead evidence virtually. As we speak today, we have some courts that have virtual matters that to be conducted virtually from the beginning to the end. When I say from the beginning to the end, I mean from the filing of the process, from the virtual witness deposition on oath, as the case may be, from whatever oath that may be taken, from the deposing to facts in affidavits in connection with the matter, and down to hearing the matter, down to leading evidence and adopting addresses concerning the matter. We already have some matters in our courts. So I expect lawyers should take into account these emerging realities of virtual law practice and begin to upskill. At a point, we started at the level of trying to write on it, but now we have gone to the level of educating lawyers via platforms like this live. This one is not a recorded program, it's not a prepared script, it's something that I am doing live for you to see, for you to know the needs to equip yourself in the area of virtual law practice. The NGC has done so much in terms of promoting virtual law practice in Nigeria. Paragraph D specifically provides for virtual law practice. That is it. There are laws that have provided for virtual law practice in Nigeria. What about Section 84 of the Evidence Act, which provides for electronic evidence and electronically generated documents? Of course, that basically should tell you that we are now in the era of virtual law practice. The the FCT practice direction of 2018, as it were, also promotes virtual law practice. Specifically, Order 12 of the FCT practice direction of 2018 talks about virtual law practice. You can serve electronic notices. You can transmit electronic notices to the court if you are not able to make yourself available for the purpose of the hearing of the matter, as the case may be. You don't need to send a letter. Just send you don't need to send a paper-based letter. You can electronically transmit that particular letter to the court. That is what Order 12 of the practice direction is talking about. And even the interpretation section of the practice direction talks about electronic communication, as it were. So when we say electronic communication, I have argued, may also include processes that are filed electronically, so transmitted electronically to the court. Complaints may be filed and transmitted electronically to the court. So it all depends on if there is an application in that particular regard. That's one thing that lawyers should begin to understand. When you want to do these things, you need to think about the need for you to bring such to the notice of the court by virtue of an application, usually a motion or notice. Some of them may even go by motion expert. It all depends on the nature of the application, as the case may be. So that is it. We have a law, the Cybercrime Act, Cybercrimes Act, Section 17 of the Cybercrimes Act also talks about virtual law practice. So we're using this as a platform, as a means to continue to educate Nigerians concerning virtual law practice and how they can effectively use the National Industrial Court of Nigeria mobile app as developed by the court, and to also know how to take advantage of the opportunities of the virtual court of the National Industrial Court as contained there in the mobile app or on the mobile app, as the case may be, whichever way you want to put it. So that is it. So we need to take advantage of it. I urge Nigerians to begin to look at that. At this point, let me introduce something to you so that you see it live. I already have it downloaded on my phone here. The app is here. This look at it. If you can see the screen very well, the app is here. Now let me click. This is the app. You can see it. The other time I did a screen share. Now this is the app. Then let me go to the next page. Let me go to the next page. This is the next page. I tapped the image icon, and this is actually what you have when tapping the image. When you tap the image icon, this is what is going to pop up. And the next one is okay. You can see it. Look at it. You have judges, past president, history. You have practice direction. You have tools. Okay, now let me type the registry. You see the registry here. The registry here. You have seen it in the screen share before. On the screen share, then the next one we have the divisions. These are the various divisions. Remember, the registries are not as many as the divisions. So the divisions are more than the registries. So you have to take note. So why we have more, we have different states across the federation. So it's expected that we will have more divisions than registries. So you have to take note. Then you have the history. The history is here. When you tap it, you see the history, everything you need to know about the National Industrial Court of Nigeria. You have it here. I think it's important that I read out something, a very, very striking point that was noted here in this particular history feature of the app. It's a giant strides. That's actually what was captured here. It's the giant strides. The giant strides, yes, it is certain that the NICN now has enormous burdens and responsibilities to shoulder, given the very wide jurisdictions conferred on it, for it to be able to rise up to expectation. The following measures has been taken. The first one is the aggressive expansion of the court. As the jurisdiction of the court has been tremendously increased, the need arises to appoint more judges to handle the deluge of cases that are bound to ensue. More courts have been built to cover all the states of the federation, as the services of the court will now be needed dearly in all the states of the federation in view of the subject matters covered by the court's jurisdiction, more of which are highly litigious matters. To complement the appointment of more judges, more supporting staff, and additional courts have been built across the states of the federation. The establishment of Alternative Dispute Resolution Center for Mediation and Reconciliation is also there. Then you have the rules of the court has been reviewed to accord with the present innovations. You now have the court rules of 2007. Then we have capacity building programs for the staff of the court in order to acquaint them with the necessary skills needed to effectively assist the court to achieve its core establishment objectives. So the National Industrial Court is actually taking steps to what? to organize capacity building programs for the staff of the court. And I want to believe that the staff of the court are really very much, ready. It's not left for lawyers and other stakeholders in the justice administration system to think about the need for them to also equip themselves in this particular area. And that is why we have programs like this, in order to educate the court officials, the lawyers, in order to educate even clients. Because when the lawyers are properly educated, there will also be another problem that is a problem of how to educate the client as well. So the clients should also be educated. So we need to take into account that particular fact. Then there has been tremendous enlightenment campaigns to bring the court into the consciousness of the people. That is what we are doing here now. We are trying to bring the consciousness. We are trying to bring the fact that the court exists today with innovations like this into the consciousness of the people, that they have got to embrace these emerging realities of virtual law practice. So when they begin to know that, in truth, that the court system has been remodeled, has been redesigned in such a way that we now have speedy trial with virtual courts like this, and it becomes easy. You won't think of, okay, how long will the case last? When I file, is it not going to take up to 20 years, 30 years, as the case may be? So these things have been taken care of by virtue of the virtual courts, which can sit conveniently, never minding any issue of some administrative bottlenecks which may be there. Then you have so this is being done by what? Organizing lectures involving stakeholders in the administration of justice, particularly those connected with the subject matters of the court. And that is what we are doing here. This is one of the talk series that we have actually earmarked. We have created it in order to create awareness concerning virtual law practice, how you can use the tools, the mobile app developed by the court or introduced by the courts, in order for you to upskill yourself as far as virtual law practice is concerned. A lot of other things. Now, the ICT digitalization of the judiciary is very much in tandem with global practices or best practices, as we all know. Of course, I must admit here that the National Industrial Court is actually doing so well in this particular regard, to make sure that virtual law practice becomes the norm, and we will see the need for us to adopt it as a very unique way of practicing law. There are a lot of other things that will come up later, as far as the National Industrial Court of Nigeria virtual proceedings or virtual court, virtual hearing are concerned. It is a continuous talk series. We hope to update you with emerging realities, with innovations, with new models of practice, and this will help you to get yourself prepared for virtual law practice in Nigeria. So the issue of whether law practice is the issue of whether law practice is difficult, or the virtual law practice is difficult, is no longer there. Virtual law practice is not a rocket science, and it will never be a rocket science. If you have any questions, you can ask us at any time. You can ask us at any time your question. You can ask us at any time. If you have any question, you can ask us. We are there I'm getting some calls now, but I don't think these calls are related to what we are doing, so I'm not going to answer them. I'm only going to answer the calls that are related to what we are doing here. I did say earlier on that this is a phone-in program, but the from what I saw here, this call is not a call that is related to what we have here. So we hope to educate, to come up with more tips concerning virtual law practice, and we expect that you begin to take into advantage the emerging realities of virtual law practice in Nigeria. Now, the argument as to whether or not it is constitutional is of no moment any longer. Um, the reason being that there is no part of the constitution which actually forbids virtual law practice. In fact, there was a case in that particular regard um, during um, the in this COVID-19 era, and this what the Supreme Court has to say about it is that there is uh, uh, there is the Supreme Court did say that virtual law practice, nobody's right has been infringed upon by virtue of adopting that particular mode of practice hearing, virtual hearing. So, and since nobody's right has been infringed upon, that we have to wait, because what that particular matter was basically all about was that the Attorney General of Lagos State did file a suit by an originating summons for the Supreme Court to interpret relevant provisions of the Constitution as they all relate to virtual hearing. And the justices of the Supreme Court, in their wisdom, took a look at it and saw that um, indeed nobody's rights has been infringed upon. So to decide as to the constitutionality or otherwise, as a matter of fact, in their view, is of no moment, or was of no moment, and that um, they should wait for people's rights, to be infringed upon. At least the cause of action will definitely arise from when someone's right has been infringed upon by virtue of adopting that mode of hearing, or that that type of hearing. That is when we begin to talk about violation of rights and all that. Then issues of fair hearing will come in. And I think, in my view, the Supreme Court did well in their um, observation. I would call it in that particular striking legal comments concerning the issue as to whether or not some person's rights, whether rights have been infringed upon, or as to whether or not um, whatsoever the National Assembly is doing will definitely affect um, uh, virtual hearing in all. This is my own way of putting it. I'm just paraphrasing the way I understand it. So that is it. So not only that, let me add here that the Supreme Court, the National Judicial Council, has actually gone to the extent of coming up with provisions to promote virtual law practice. So where the National Judicial Council has gone to the extent of coming up with provisions in terms of the practice directives to promote virtual law practice, which have the effect of subsidiary law, we cannot say that virtual law practice is unconstitutional. For now, it is. constitutional, because nobody's rights has been infringed upon by way of that mode, or by way of um, virtual hearing, or virtual filing of court processes, because the rules are there. Lawyers have been deploying the rules to actually do what they want to do as far as virtual law practice is concerned. Some have been quiet about virtual law practice. Some are doing it. Some are investing in terms of IT infrastructure in order for them to be very much prepared in virtual law practice. At this point, I think we have actually done our bit when it comes to creating awareness in this casual format. This is a casual awareness. Is we don't want to make it to look too academic, but we just want you to know that virtual law practice has come to stay. Um, if you have any question, you can ask, and if there's also any clarification you have to make concerning what we have said, if you think that we have erred in any way, we have made any mistake, you can also draw it to our attention, and we assure you that we're going to do the needful in order to correct whatever mistake that has been made in the course of this presentation. But we do hope that uh, you will learn, or you must have learned a great deal in what concerning whatever we have discussed today, as far as virtual law practice is concerned. We want you to adopt a kind of an approach that will not make it to look as if you wanted to write an exam because of virtual law practice. You don't need to write an exam because of virtual law practice, because it's a practice-based thing. You've got to go out there to practice it. To practice it, you've got to go out there to put into practice whatever you have learned, maybe today or in our previous videos. You put them into practice, and you begin to um, um, carve a niche for yourself in virtual law practice. We have a lot of talk series coming up. We also have a lot of courses on virtual law practice uh, coming up as well. They've been outlined for live broadcast. We have a virtual law practice course on virtual witness deposition of oath. We have a virtual law practice course on service of originating processes via the WhatsApp contact numbers of parties, or um, other virtual platforms. We also have virtual talk, virtual virtual law practice course series that is actually focused on virtual brief writing. Virtual brief writing is important. There is a new course, it's virtual brief writing. And we also have the one that is focused on motion, moving of motions, how to move your motions, your applications virtually, and how to adumbrate is to address courts, given the limited time that you have to address courts, to argue your application virtually, as if you were in the conventional court. Then we have the one which is focused on appellate uh, virtual brief, appellate virtual brief writing, and appellate virtual address, appellate virtual address. That is address at the virtual address at the Court of Appeal, virtual address at the Supreme Court. How to go about it in a very creative way. Everything we are doing here is more like emerging. is new. Is not is Some of the things have not been done before. We research it and we come up with ways that lawyers can begin to do it in a unique and creative way, so that they don't see it as a big a rocket science, like the way some people see it, some lawyers see it, or some clients. I can remember very well when I was discussing virtual law practice with a client, and I was telling he couldn't understand how possible it could work, and I I tried as much as possible to educate him, and before um, taking steps to do the needful. And when he saw it and he appreciated it, so that is it. So you've got to really upskill. You've got to know what you want, and the only way you can know what you want is by way of doing that thing more and more. So as you make mistakes, you correct the mistake. It's called practice. You've got to be practicing it every day. There's nothing like um, there's no profession in virtual law practice. It's something that we need to look at. We need to take a good look at it very well, and see how we can take advantage of all the opportunities that are there and make our practice fun. Virtual law practice, as a matter of fact, has come to make practice fun. And you need to upskill. You need to work on yourself. You cannot sit back there while other people are working on themselves. You've got to work on yourself and make virtual law practice part of you, part of the practice. It can be in your, it's apart from the convenience. It is interesting. I look I look at the interesting aspect of it in most cases, apart from the convenience. I know it's convenient. Anything virtual is almost convenient. It's almost convenient. However, this applying the skills of virtual realities into the practice of law has actually made it more interesting as well. So I can tell you that a virtual law practice is as interesting as conventional law practice. And virtual uh, address, virtual arguments, virtual adoption of brief, they are all as interesting as conventional address adoption of brief. They are all as interesting as virtual conventional address. Um, they are all as interesting as conventional filing of cases in the courts. So it is a unique way of practicing law, and for me, it has given birth to a new way of practicing law. So law has left the level of the conventional realities we were very much familiar with to emerging realities as far as virtual law practice is concerned. And I want to urge you to take advantage of this opportunity to get educated, to know more about these emerging realities of virtual law practice, and do well to subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much. I enjoy having a wonderful time with you. Thank you.